ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। यन्नित्यमानन्दमनन्तमेकं शिवेति नाम्ना श्रुतयो गृह्णन्ति तस्यावतारो नररूपधारी कृपासुदाब्धि भुवि रामकृष्णः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयोः श्रुत्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Bhagavan Krishna protected Parikshit, who was in his mother's garbha, Uttara's garbha, from Brahmastram sent by Ashwatthama. When Ashwatthama sent Brahmastram in order to destroy entire Kuru Vamsha, Uttara surrenders to the Lord. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin. O Lord, please protect me. When she surrendered, Bhagavan entered the womb of Uttara and protect the child who was going to be called as Parikshit afterwards from the Brahmastra. Seeing this wonder that the invincible Brahmastram could not destroy the child, Kunti Devi expressed her gratitude and devotion to the Lord. So with a love and gratefulness, she sung the glory of the Lord. It comes in Bhagavatam. It is called Kunti Stuti. Namaste Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakritev Param Alakshyam Sarvabhutanam Antarbahiravastitam. She surrenders to the Lord, telling that, O Lord, who happened to be the Purushaha, Adyam Purushaha, Prakritev Paraha, Ishwaraha, Sarvabhutanam, Antaha Bahihi Avastitaha. You are the manifestation of the Lord. You are superior to the Prakriti, and you are actually Bhagavan himself, who happened to be the Antaryami of all the Jivas. When Kunti Devi sung the glory of the Lord in this way, Bhagavan mischievously objected her stuti. He asked Kunti, Auntie, what happened today for you? So far you are talking coherently, nicely. Suddenly you are coming to me and telling that I am the Lord. You are prostrating towards me like that you are telling. How can you say that I am Ishwaraha? Because the definition for Ishwaraha is ye chakshusha na pashyati yena chakshugumshi pashyati yen manasa na manute yena ahur manomatam. That which is not available for our perception, sense perception, and that which is not available even for our mind to conceive, when that is the definition of Ishvara, and when I am standing in front of you to be seen by you, available for your perception, how can you say that I am Ishvaraha? Not only that, Ishvara is free from raga dvesha, likes and dislikes. Entire world knows that I am the man of Ragadvesha, likes and dislikes. I cannot like the Duryodhanas and others, and I like Pandavas. Mama pranahi Pandavaha, like that I have already declared also. When I am the person with likes and dislikes, how can you call me as Ishvaraha? When Bhagavan himself asked this question, when ordinary devotee means, you may have doubt. When teacher asks a question, the student says some answer. Immediately the teacher objects that answer. Immediately normal student, what he will do? I may be wrong. But Kunti is not a normal devotee. She says, Maya javanika channam agnya adhokshajamavyayam na lakshase mudhadrisha nato natyadharo yatha. All these are all your Vesha. Nataha natyadharaha yatha. Like an artist, like an actor comes with a particular costume and performs a particular drama. Similarly, your Krishna Vesha is nothing but an action, nothing but a drama. And your reality, your real Swarubham is not known by everyone because Maya Javanika Channam. It is totally covered by a screen called Maya. As an ignorant spectator cannot recognize the real actor hidden in his costume. Similarly, you also have hidden yourself in your costume called Krishna Avatara, but I know you are Adhokshajaha Avyayaha. Adhokshajaha is a beautiful epithet to the Lord. Akshajaha means sense organs. Adhokshajaha means the entity which is behind the sense organ. Entire creation is in front of the sense organ, available for our perception, but Bhagavan Ishvaraha is behind the sense organs. So like a photograph, everything is available for the camera, but the photographer is not inside the photo. Similarly, my perception can show everything in the world, but you are behind the very perception itself. Therefore, you are called Adhokshajaha Avyayaha. In reality, you are not available for my sense perception or for my conception. Still, you are available for me as an avatara, like a person who has come with a particular costume. I have found out your reality. Then immediately Bhagavan is so mischievous. When you answer this side also you will ask question, that side also you will ask question. So now he asks, that means auntie, you claim yourself to be a jnani. You claim yourself to be a jnani. What is your statement? That ignorant people don't know your reality. I know that you are Ishvaraha. When you say, naturally it comes to the understanding that you are not ignorant, you are jnani. That means you claim to be yourself as jnani. Then Kunti Devi says, no, I am Agnya only. I am also ignorant only. I don't have even the capacity to know you. Then Bhagavan asks, then how can you say that I am Ishvara? Jnani can say these statements. You say you are not Jnani. Then how can you say this? Then immediately Kunti Devi says, Tatha paramahamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katham pashyema histriyaha. I am not only an ignorant, I am happen to be lady with ignorance. So I don't know what you are actually, but I have higher source of knowledge in the form of Shastra Vakya or Rishi Vakya. Rishis can say, Jnanis can say who you are in reality. Vishwamitra can say that Aham Vedmi Mahatmanam Ramam Satya Parakramam. When Vishwamitra came to Dasharatha's palace asking for Rama's help, Dasharatha told, my son is only 16-year-old boy, how can you take him for war against the Rakshasas? Then that time Vishwamitra says, I know who is Rama, Aham Vedmi Mahatmanam. Gargacharya can say, Aham Veda no Janaha about Krishna. Gargacharya, Krishna's Kula Guru, he could say that I know the reality of the Lord. Rishis can know you as you are. How can I, who happen to be an ignorant woman, know you? For me, neither you are pramanam, nor my sense perception is pramanam. For me, the pramanam is, the source of knowledge is Rishi's words, Mahatma's words. If I say that I have found you by my sense perception, it will be a wrong thing, because consciousness is not available for our sense perception. Ishvara is not available for our sense perception. And if I say that you are Ishvara, you yourself will tell I am not Ishvara. In Ramavatara, Brahmaji and other devatas come and tell Rama, don't behave like this as ordinary human being. You are Ishvara. That time Bhagavan told, Atmanam Mahanusham Manye. I consider myself as human being only. Suppose if anybody approaches him as human being, immediately Bhagavan told, Avajananti mam huda manushim tanumashritam. This side also you speak, that side also you speak. If people address you as Ishvara, you say, I am not Ishvara. If people address you as human being, you say that they are insulting me. So I cannot take your words as pramanam. Nor I can take my own sense perception or capacity of the mind as my pramanam. Therefore, I totally depend upon the words of the sadhus, words of the rishis. Rishis' words are always consistent. They cannot talk according to the situation or person or according to their likes and dislikes. What they say is always truthful and consistent. They are consistent in their devotion. They worship you as Ishvaraha all the time. Can you say Devala, Narada, Vyasacharya, others are all untruthful people? Can you deny that you are in reality Ishvaraha, but for the sake of Loka Sangraham, you have taken this avatara, Krishna avatara? Can you deny this? And Bhagavan heard this with all conviction. What was the assertion? That you are, Bhagavan, available for me to transact with you in the form of avatara. Therefore, my salutations to you. When Kunti Devi saluted in this way, Bhagavan was very, very happy. So he asked immediately, all right, auntie, I accept your words. Because once rishis are brought, sadhus are brought, means Bhagavan doesn't have anything to say. Because they are the final. To give judgment, who is avatara, who is not avatara, who is the last word? Not Bhagavan, not even ordinary person, only the rishis. So therefore Bhagavan says, auntie, now I am very, very happy about your conviction and your devotion. Please ask a boon. Immediately, Kunti Devi asks a beautiful boon. This is the unique prayer. This boon is an unique prayer. It is very, very rare in our scriptural context. No devotee has asked so far this boon. She asked this boon. Vipadas santuna shashvati tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yatsyat apunar bhavadarshanam. Kunti Devi addresses Bhagavan Krishna as, Hey Jagat Guru, O teacher of the world, Naha Shashvatu Vipadaha Santu Tatra Tatra. Let me get more and more painful and dangerous situation in my life. What boon it is? What prayer it is? No devotee can ask. Generally devotees ask what? Relief from pain and dangers. But this devotee says, let me get more and more pain and dangerous situation in my balanced life. Immediately Bhagavan got shocked. What is this? I thought you will ask moksha, you will ask Atma Jnanam, this, that. Suddenly you are asking me this painful situation. What boon is this? Why you are asking this? Kunti Devi says, Yatu vipatsu bhavataha darshanam syat. In that painful situation only, I get your darshanam, I get your vision. In vipat only, there is a great sampat also. There is a great fortune in painful situation. In dangerous situation, I find that there is a great fortune. Therefore, I want that fortune. Therefore, I want dangerous and painful situation. So, Bhagavan acted as though he has not understood what Kunti Devi has meant. Whether Bhagavan understood or not, we are not able to understand. Therefore, we have to analyze this particular prayer, and this prayer happened to be a very, very beautiful and philosophical prayer, wherein we can connect ourselves with this prayer and lead our life in a peaceful and devoted way. So Bhagavan asks, how you get my vision in Vipat? How you get my vision in your dangers? Then immediately Kunti Devi says, all my life I faced dangers only. If you see entire Mahabharata, Kunti was the person most suffering one. In the childhood itself, she became mother without marriage. So first child itself, she has to lose. Then the child became a powerful person and joined the opposite party. That became another pain. And she could not say to the society that Karna is my child. And not only that, with regard to other Pandavas, Pancha Pandavas, all of them were always in danger. And Kunti Devi remembers all the dangers gone through by her children. Generally, we also go to Lord and give a list, like this happened in my life, like this happened in my life, like this happened in my life. Kunti also gives a list. There are two types of attitude when we list the incidents in our life. One is after listing, scolding the Lord. So much puja I am doing, you have not protected me. One type of listing. Another type of listing is after listing, giving thanks to the Lord that you have protected me from these dangers. So Kunti Devi belongs to the second category, matured category. She says, all my life I saw nothing but dangers, dangers, dangers. When my children were small, that time itself Duryodhana got jealousy, and due to the conspiracy by Shakuni, my Bhima was thrown into the river. And I thought my Bhima gone away, but what happened? By your grace, he came with 1,000 elephant power. And then when they become youths, wax house accident, you only protected them. Then in marrying Draupadi, there was lot of dangers, that also you only removed. And then when they wanted to do Rajasuya Yaga, you are the person who helped them. And then at that Asat Sabha, when my daughter-in-law was in danger, that time you only protected. Like that, she was listing and remembering the grandness of the Lord, protection of the Lord. She says, all my life I faced Vipat. Vipat means danger, which helped me to remember you more and more intensely. According to Kunti, whenever danger comes, then only our prayers are most intensive one. Practically, if you see, suppose take a patient. A patient is suffering from cancer. He has gone to hospital. The doctor has given medicine. Will the patient be satisfied with that medicine? No. After taking medicine, he will go to Venkatachalapati and he will pray, oh Lord, like this they have suddenly found out and I am taking medicine. Please see that this medicine work in my body, because there is no guarantee. Like that he prays. So that time what happens? He has the faith that Bhagavan will protect me, and at the same time he has the faith that doctor also joins with me in protecting. But what happens after 6 months, when the disease could not be cured, when allopathy, homeopathy, all pathis have given up, and when they say to the relatives, that's all you can tell to all the relatives, please, there may be 1 month or something, when the doctor fixed the date, that time this patient goes to the temple, standing in front of the Pati. Who is that Pati? Venkatachalapati or Pashupati. Oh Lord, Pashupati, every Pati has given up me, you please protect me. Now, which prayer will be the intense one? The second one. More the danger, more the intensity of the prayer. That's what Kunti Devi says. All these dangers helped me to surrender to you. My life experience taught me this great teaching that dangers alone helps a person to surrender to you. Asking for security, I went towards you asking for security. Duryodhana went towards the kingdom. Duryodhana also wanted to be secure, peaceful and happy. He thought his wealth and power and position and kingdom will protect him. But I thought, you are going to protect me. Whole life, even though I suffered, I was protected by you. Whole life, even though he had everything, he was full of insecurity and unhappiness. Even after giving the portion Indraprastha to Duryodhana, even after my children are living in the forest also, that fellow was not secured. He was always afraid. Will these fellows, Pandavas will come back after 13 years, after 13 years, after 13. When they come back after 13 years, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? This anxiety simply ate his peace of mind. Therefore, I understood, O Lord, surrendering to you guarantees protection. That means that logic is, dangers push me towards you and ask me to surrender, and surrendering only assures or guarantees protection. Not only that, this very danger itself I consider as a love letter from you. This very danger itself I consider as a love letter from you with a message, Mam Bhajasva, worship me. What is a love letter from Bhagavan? Mam Bhajasva. That is why, O Lord, I called you Hey Jagat Guru. Jagat Guru word has so many meanings. One meaning you can say Jagataha Guru, teacher of the world. One meaning. Another meaning is Jagam Eva, Jagat Eva Guruhu, or Jagat Rupa Guruhu. You only are available in the form of this creation, and as creation you are teaching a grandest teaching to entire humanity. What is that teaching? Anityam Asukam Lokam. Imam Lokam Anityam Asukam. As Jagat, what you teach to the people, never depend upon this Jagat. If you depend upon any person, any situation, any object in your life, you will be in trouble, because the nature of this world is nothing but Anityam. That which is subject to arrival and departure. Therefore I call you, O Lord, Hey Jagat Guru. The very vipad, the danger situation itself, I consider as your calling, as your love letter. Imagine a platform wherein trains arrive, but no departure. Railway station, trains arrive, but no departure. What you will tell? Will you go to that railway station? You will telephone to your people who are coming towards that railway station. Hey, this is not railway station. Only arrivals are available. Departure is not there. As even trains arrive, what happens? Lot of crowd. You will be in trouble. So therefore, don't come. It is useless. This railway station is useless. Similarly, world also will be useless if it is not Anityam. Anityam means what? That which is coming and going to go away. But just because it is Anityam, you cannot say, I will not use it. Suppose world is Mithya, world is Anityam, therefore I will not transact with the world. You cannot say. At the same time, you cannot say, I will hold on this world, I will hold on this wealth, I will hold on these people. You cannot say. Everything in the creation is given with a purpose. Use it, grow and get away. Town bus is there. Madras town bus, you get in, travel for some extent, then your destination comes. What they will tell? Please get down. Why should I get down? You cannot say. Nor you can say, anyhow I am going to get down, why should I get in? So neither you can avoid getting in, nor you can avoid getting out, but there is an utility. You cannot hold on to these temporary things. You can use them, but you cannot hold them. Without information, it will be whatever may be given to you. Without information, it will be taken away. If you have a Fevicol mind, now normal people have what mind? Fevicol mind. Wherever they go, whatever they see, simply they try to hold on. Everything I want to grab, I want to grab. Wherever I go, I want to stick to that, I want to hold on to that. This comes from the childhood onwards. If you take a child to a fancy store, the child will tell, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Mother will be annoyed. Tell one doll, only one toy only will be given. No, I want. And the salesperson also is very intelligent because he wants lot of sales. So this also nice, that also nice. He will not show to the mother, he will show to child only. Fevicol mind. Of course, children have Fevicol mind towards the toys. What about elders? Elders have another type of toys. A child is given a balloon. The child wants to be always with that balloon. It enjoys the presence of the balloon, company of the balloon. Then suddenly one idiot comes and pops up that balloon. Immediately what does the child do? Child cries. When balloon pops up, child cries. Then father, matured person, balloon matured person, he comes, hey, come on, balloon is for popping off only. Can anyone cry for balloon getting popped off? Don't cry, I will give you one more balloon. Like that, he pacifies the child, gives one more balloon. So after that, he goes to office and he is working in share market. That day, share market stumbled. What happens? He has share market balloon. What is the definition of balloon? That which is subject to inflation and deflation, which can become bigger or which can become smaller. Similarly, the share also goes up and comes down. So it has come down on that day. Father comes back to home with all sad face. The child observes, morning only he pacified me that I should be happy. Now my father himself is with sad face. Hey, Papa, what happened? No, don't disturb me. Come on, Dad, come on. Balloon is meant for popping off. So if the child cries for the ordinary balloon, elders cry for some other balloon. So Shastra says, you cannot hold on to anything. This maturity is called Vairagyam. Use every blessed thing in the creation and grow out of those things and then happily give back. This giving attitude whenever a situation demands is called Vairagyam. Here Kunti Devi says, the very idea that it is going to go away makes me to be prepared for Vairagyam. Anityam Asukam Lokam. Once I understand that this thing, this creation, these people, situation, objects in the creation, I cannot hold on. Once I understand this, what happens? What is the next destination for me, for my security and peace and happiness? Oh Bhagavan, you yourself told, Mam Bhajasva. Imam lokam anityam asukam lokam imam prapya. You have come to this world without your knowledge. Suddenly you find yourself in this creation. Lot of people beating you, lot of people cajoling you, forcing you to go to school and forcing you to get married. When you find in this situation, what you have to do? You cannot hold on this world. Mam bhajasva, hold on to me. With this information, you send me a lekanam. Generally, children are carried away by the toys and games. All the time, like a child, playful child, all the time when the child is playing, what happens? Mother calls, hey, come, food time is over. Please come, food time is over. You have to go to school, like that. Go on, mother is calling. That time child refuses to come. When that moment comes, that last moment comes, what does the mother do? She comes and gives a slap. She drags the child and feeds the child. Correct? Similarly, I consider all these dangerous situations are nothing but your loving calling. This is one understanding. Second understanding is, this so-called painful situation, I don't consider them as painful at all, because when it has become a reality, when it has become an inevitable entity, when it becomes the opposite side of my life, how can I resist? Like Sukham, Dukkham must be there. Like Sukham, Dukkham must be there. Suppose you imagine a life without Dukkham, how it will be? A person is crying to the Lord, oh Lord, you are not answering my prayer, you please come, at least today you answer. Bhagavan comes and stands in front of him and asks, what is your prayer? See, my father is suffering from old age, he is kept in ventilator, please protect him, he should live long life. So in my home there should not be any deaths. I cannot withstand the death of my father. So in my life nobody should have aging process. Then Bhagavan told Tathastu. Imagination. What happened? This father is now he has come back. He has come back and go on hanging old age. Old age, already old age problem is there. So he is not going to die, but he will have already whatever age is there, from that moment it is stopped. Tathastu. So go on with that sugar tablet and insulin and BP tablet, go on and on and on. So he has asked not aging as the boon, and his child is a 2-year-old child. The child also doesn't grow at all. Child also, because no aging. Father also doesn't grow, therefore he is not going to die. Happy moment. Child also not going to grow. Is it a happy moment or unhappy moment? Then he suffers. You have misunderstood my prayer, O Lord. Like that, he says. Again Bhagavan comes and says, what? No, I asked my father only not to die, but the suspension of aging process you have given to my child also. My child is not growing at all. Again he complains. That means what? Every individual wants 2 laws, 3 laws, 4 laws. Like our Tirupati queue. When you go to Tirupati and when you stand in Tirupati queue, what is your complaint? So many hours, 12 hours should we stand. What is this? This management should take care, arrangement. They should arrange for easy darshan. Like that you are complaining. By the time an officer just passes away and he hears your complaint. What is your complaint? The queue should move fastly. That's all your complaint. Correct? So immediately he went to that inside the temple and ordered the people, don't give much time. Send them out, whoever comes to darshan, only 1 second. Jargandi, 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 Jargandi. So what happens? When others move, naturally line also moves and you are very happy. Oh, this officer heard my prayer. Oh, he went and now nicely, fastly you go there. You after going there, Jargandi, when they say, what you say? What you say? Hey, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Then the officer is there. Hey, you fellow, when you are standing on the queue, you wanted 1 law. And when you have come for darshan, you want another law. That is the ignorance. Our Kunti Devi says, without dukkham, there is no possibility of life at all. There is no possibility of distinguishing what is sukham. How you know what is sweet without knowing what is chilli? How you know what is sweet? So, without comparing note, you cannot distinguish anything. Therefore, O Lord, one thing is, dukkham is inevitable. Therefore, avoiding that inevitable thing is foolishness. Human being walking through legs is inevitable. Suppose somebody says, I will try to conquer this. I will start walking by head, upside down. Is it foolishness or intelligence? Eating through mouth is inevitable. You have not given any choice. Even though there are 9 holes are there in your body, only 1 hole is available for putting your food. Somebody says, no, I cannot accept. Everybody eats through mouth. I will use these ear holes. Can you say anything? If it is inevitable, there is no other way for you than accepting it and aligning your life according to that. That's what our Kunti Devi says. Whatever you have done, the creation is perfect. Yat kritam tat sukritam. By not accepting what is there in perfect condition, people increase their suffering. They ask, why dukkham comes? One question. It's a foolish question. Then second question is, why for me it comes? Why me? எல்லாம் எனக்கு தான் ஆகுது சாமி, எல்லாம் எனக்கு தான் இது மாதிரி நடக்குது. Everything happens to me only. That means what? He is not going to bother if it happens to neighbor or relative. So here Kunti Devi says, people doubt your sarvajñatvam, that you are omniscient entity, you have done this creation in a perfect balanced way. When they complain, they doubt your sarvajñatvam. When they complain that why I get this suffering, they doubt your samatvam, as though you are troubling someone, as though you are blessing someone. They doubt your samatvam, and in the process they reject your kripa, grace. What grace? According to Kunti Devi, very pain, suffering itself is grace of the Lord. Holy Mother Sharada Devi says the same words. Suffering is the grace of the Lord. How it can be grace of the Lord? As I told earlier, if suffering is not there, nobody will go to the Lord, nobody will pray for moksha, nobody will pray for devotion or anything. Everybody will be with gala time, plays and games and games and games. Generally in human life, it is like when your car is going to go nicely, will you bother about it? Will you bother about it? When it gets punctured, then only what you do? Yo, I have a car. I should take care. That time only you look for stepney. And stepney, you never cared for the stepney tire. Then, since it is not carried at all, the air in the stepney also goes away. So that time only, when trouble comes, then only you see, oh, what a beautiful vehicle I had. Now I am on the road because I have not taken care of. Similarly, life also is a journey. If puncture and accident doesn't happen, what happens? We will be always busy with one project or the other. So here, our Kunti Devi says, the dukkam is your prema lekhanam. Yasya anugrahitum ichchami tasya vittam haramyaham. In order to teach the humanity what is the meaning of this life, in order to teach the humanity how to prepare oneself to give away everything consciously with all happy mind, you have given this dukkam. There are two types of children, and one type of child, as even mother calls, the child goes to mother. Another type of child is very adamant, he is always engaged with only plays. So the child refuses to come. Similarly, here also, in the life also, there are two type of children, O Lord, for you. One child is sadhu child. As even you say, anityam asukam lokam. Immediately the child understands and he becomes a sannyasi. He says, I am not for another round, 25 year one marriage means 25 year round, one round. Already 20 years round over. 50th age onwards you have gone to schools and colleges. Then 25th or 26th age when you come, immediately world forces you to have one more round. There are some children, intelligent children, by just hearing your call, come back my child, this is not the Janma for you only to have sense pleasures and sense pleasures. Come back to me, dedicate your entire life for the sake of knowledge, for the sake of freedom. They hear, simply come back. But there are many children who don't hear that. Repeatedly, even after you are calling, repeatedly, even after sending letters after letters, varieties of letters Bhagavan sends, for every human being, varieties of letters Bhagavan sends, come back. What is that? Daily, day-to-day problems are one small SMS. One letter comes, as even you become 40 or 50, BP. One letter. Sugar, another letter. Then grey hair, third letter. Then teeth are shaking. But this fellow, he goes to dentist and would say artificial teeth. Bhagavan told, your teeth is overused already. Your teeth is overused. Don't use it more. So therefore only it is shaking. Reduce your food and other things. Come back to me. When they say, this fellow goes, I have money. Oh Lord, you have given ordinary teeth. I will have golden teeth. Like a cow, go on, munch and munch and munch and die. Better luck, next Janma. Bhagavan sends a letter, grey hair. This fellow, what he does? He dies. Die is for dying person. Die is for dying person. He dies. So like that, the children, normal children don't accept your call. Therefore what you have to do, like a loving mother, what you do, come and give a slap this side and that side. When a mother beats the child, what the child does, the child will hold on to mother's leg only, And that time, when a child right activist come, suppose, imagine, nowadays there's so many activists are there, child right protection activists. Oh, you are a mother, merciless mother, you should not beat the child like that. People also are going to on our behalf, they will recommend to the Lord, oh Lord, he is suffering, please save him, please save him. Then Bhagavan consider that person, oh, child right activist. Mother knows why she is beating the child. Bhagavan only knows why he has given this suffering to that particular individual. So when another person interferes with that karma niyadi, with that pain, Bhagavan considers, you idiot, you don't know. That's what happens when Mahabali Chakravarti was simply made a pauper. Bhagavan made him as a pauper. With one boon, that I want 3 feet of land, he has made him entirely pauper. Pauper means what? Insolvent person. Entire wealth he has taken away, and he has made him as a slave by putting his leg on the head of the Mahabali Chakravarti. That time all the asuras were very angry and they started fighting with Vishnu. That time Mahabali says, hey, don't fight. In this guise he has come in order to give me amrutatva, taking me what I have, small thing, impermanent thing. He has come to give me permanent things, so don't disturb. Then Brahmaji comes and prays to the Lord, oh Lord, this is not proper. You asked 3 feet of land only with a small farm. Suddenly you have increased your farm, and that leg, the lengthy leg, you have measured the entire world. This is nothing but cheating. Please leave him. Then Bhagavan says to Brahmaji, oh, I should leave him so that you can have him. Brahmaji having any individual means what? Punarapi maranam, punarapi jananam. So that time only Bhagavan says, yasya anugrahitum ichchami tasya vittam haramyaham. To whom I want to give blessing, I take away what is his source of strength. Because of that source of strength, he is arrogant. He is not coming to me. It may be wealth, it may be people, it may be health, it may be knowledge, it may be degrees or position. That's what 7 and half Shani Graha, they say. 7 Shani Nwang. Shani Bhagavan is Jnana Karakaha. One who helps to come back to the Lord is called Jnana Karakaha. So what happened? Shani Graha comes, whatever our source of strength, whether it is money or something, slowly it goes away. Person gets lots of problem. For what sake? All these things are given, asking the person to come back to the Lord. But this fellow goes to astrologer. What should I do? 7 Shani vandirukudhe, inna pandrathu? Ama 7.5 years Shani Graha is there. You have to go through. It will be very, very painful. First 6 months will be very, very painful. Then this fellow thought, oh, out of 7.5 years, first 6 months only very, very painful. Then balance 7 years will be less pain, it seems like that. Yeah. So what will happen after 6 months? That astrologer told, after 6 months you will be accustomed to that. பழகி போயிடும். முதல் 6 மாசம் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும், அப்புறம் என்னாகும்? பழகி போயிடும். Here Kunti Devi says, you send all this dukkam in order to bring everyone to your lotus feet. Oh Lord, I have understood. Therefore, you please give me more and more painful situations. Bhavataha darshanam yasyat tad apunar bhava darshanam. When I have this vairagyam, naturally I will not spend my time and energy in normal things. I will go to sadhu sangha and ask myself, koham kuta ayataha kame janani ko me tataha. Who am I? For what purpose I have come in this human body? What I have to do? If I don't get answer, I will go to sadhus, and when I go to sadhus, they will teach me that what is the purpose of my life, and they will unanimously they will tell, loving you, coming to you, and having the knowledge of your reality is the purpose of life. When they say, then I will have mokshaha or freedom, complete freedom. Then Bhagavan says, auntie, it is nice. This much of lecture is nice. But Dukkham is one part of the life. Sukham also is another part of life. You want to attain me through the path of Dukkham. What is your argument, auntie? What is your argument? You give me more and more Dukkham so that I will have Vairagyam. And by Vairagyam I will go to Satsanga. There I will get a teacher, spiritual teacher, Guru, and that Guru will reveal me what is the reality of the Lord. So therefore you will be free. This is your path. I will give another choice. I will give a lot of wealth and power, position, health, everything. Sukham I will give. Full of Sukham I will give. And you may get Vairagyam and you may go to Satsanga and you may finally attain me also. Why can't you take that route? Why can't you take that route? Nice route, na? Everybody wants Bhagavan. No controversy in that. Bhagavan, everybody wants Bhagavan means what? Everybody wants security, peace and happiness. Correct? Unalloyed, security, peace and happiness. Everybody wants. That is the Swarupam of the Lord. Therefore everybody wants Bhagavan only. But everybody wants Bhagavan through the path called Sukham. ஜாலியா அப்படியே போய் நேரா போயிடலாம். அப்படியே கார்லே பத்ரிநாத் போயிட்டா எப்படி நல்லா இருக்கும். If you go to Badrinath by car, how nice it will be. But if you go to Badrinath by walking, how terrible it will be. Kunti Devi says, by walking only one person can go to Badrinath. Bhagavan says, why can't you go by car? Then Kunti Devi says, it is an impossible proposal. What is the impossible proposal? A person coming to the Lord through Sukham is impossible proposal. She says, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Sribihi Yedhamana Madav Puman Naivarhati Abhidatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gocharam. Oh Bhagavan, don't try to cheat me. Don't try to cheat me by giving me an impossible proposition. What is that impossible proposition? A wealthy person who happened to be an arrogant person, a wealthy person, a healthy person, a person with sense enjoyment who happened to be arrogant and who happened to be full of mada, matsarya, krodha, he can never attain you. Tvam akinchana gocharam. You can be known, you can be attained only by renunciates. Akinchanaha means beggars. Beggars alone can attain you. Akinchananam gocharam vishaya bhutam akinchana gocharam. So, only a person who doesn't have arrogance, pride, he alone is eligible for that spiritual knowledge, your vision. Generally, there are two types of vittam. Vittam means what? Wealth. One is manusham vittam, another is daivam vittam. Manusham vittam means ordinary bank balance and apartment in Mount Road and one MLA position or MP position, and like that there are so many external wealth available. So because of which people do get humility or arrogance. They get arrogance only. And Daivam Vittam means that Vedic scholarship, the idea that I am a moral person. These are all also Vittam only. Being moral is a nice only, but because of that being moral, a person may be arrogant and proud. So therefore, our Kunti Devi says, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Sribihi Puman Yedhamana Madaha Bhavati. Human being generally gets arrogance. Whereas, Saha Tvam Abhidatum Naiva Hargati. A person with arrogance can never know you in reality. That is the reason even Bhagavan says in Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Maham Ekam Charanam Vraja. Give up the idea that you are a good person. So give up all adharma and stick on to dharma. That is one stage. After becoming dharmic person, you have to give up that idea that I am a dharmic person. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja. So, what life it is without worshipping you? What life it is without struggling for spiritual growth? What life it is if it is full of arrogance due to my will? O Lord, therefore, I cannot be cheated by your cajoling. These are all cajoling. Whenever a spiritual seeker asks for final destination, Bhagavan doesn't give immediately. Like Guru Maharaj says, na, a child cries for mother. If mother is a little busy, what she does? She gives some toys initially. The toys distracts the child. So if the child stops crying, mother is free. Suppose the child again cries, she sends her brother. So uncle comes and cajoles. If the child doesn't stop that crying even after cajoled by the uncle, then only mother comes. Similarly, when a spiritual seeker cries for the Lord, Bhagavan wants to know what is the intensity of that prayer. Therefore, when Bhagavan suggested that, oh auntie, why can't you take this route called Sukha, then Vairagyam, then Sadhu Sangha, then Atma Jnana. Why can't you take this route? When he asked, Kunti Devi told, it is impossible route because you are Akinchananam Gocharaha. You are available only for people who don't have idea of possession. Akinchanaha means what? Beggar. Indirectly, what does it mean? A beggar only says, I don't have anything, I don't have anything, amma. When they ask what he says, even though he has many things, what he says? I don't have anything, I don't have anything, I don't have. Similarly, I should not have the pride that I have something externally or I have something in the form of my character or anything. Therefore, Atha Vishvesha Vishmatman Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Snehapasham imam chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. Therefore, Atha means therefore, wherefore? Wherefore? Since dukkham is inevitable, since dukkham is your prema lekhanam, since this jagat is anityam asukam lokam, since I cannot doubt your sarvajñatva, samatva, since human life is meant to attain your spiritual nature, therefore, O Lord, I wanted vairagyam as a prerequisite, and that is possible only when I get lot of pains. Therefore, He Vishvesha, He Vishwatman, He Vishwamurte, me dhridam sneha pasham imam chindi. Cut asunder my attachment towards these. Towards whom? Swakeshu pandushu vrishnishu. Cut asunder my attachment towards the pandushu means what? Panduputras. That is her own children. And vrishnishu, because she belonged to Vrishni Vamsha also, Vrishnishu. So I have lot of attachment. O Lord, cut asunder my attachment so that I will have Vairagyam and finally I will attain your spiritual knowledge. Then Bhagavan asked, if I cut asunder all the relationship, what will happen? Holding on what? You will live the balanced life. When Bhagavan asked, she says that, Tvayi me ananyaya vishaya matir madhupate sakrate ratim udvahata dhaddha gangaugam udanvati. When the mind has been relieved from the attachment towards the relatives and other wealth and power and position, that mind is available for me to devote totally towards yourself. Me matihi tvayi ananya ratihi udvahata. Let my mind be always attached to you. Yatha Ganga Pratibandham na Ganayati Evam Matirapi Vignat Mam Ganayati. Like the Ganga which cannot be obstructed by any other obstacle, let my mind also should not be obstructed by this worldly attachment. O Lord, therefore I request you 2 boons. One boon is give me more and more pain. Another boon is cut asunder my attachment. Now Bhagavan is in trouble. Both the boons he cannot give. Suppose somebody asks to doctor, 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 give this poison injection. Can doctor give? I want to die. I want to die. Give me this injection, poison injection. Can doctor give? No. Similarly, Bhagavan also cannot give dukkham to anyone because he gives dukkham according to the prarabdha karma. And Kunti Devi exhausted all the prarabdha karma. Now she doesn't need this dukkham, so that also she cannot give. Then second boon is what? Let my attachment towards Vrishnishu and Pandushu be cut asunder. Who is Krishna? Vrishni Kula Vamsha. And she asks, I should not be attached to Vrishni, but I should be attached to you only. So is it not contradictory, self-contradictory? Because in Vrishni Kula, Krishna also is there. And she says, I should detach from your Kula, but I should be attached to you. What does it mean? If you probe into that, you will understand. According to Kunti Devi, she never considered Krishna as Vrishni Kula Vamsha. That's why, He Vishwatman, He Vishwamurte, like that she addresses. So therefore, Bhagavan, Mohayan Niva Mayaya Mandam Jahasa Vaikuntaha. Shukacharya says, Bhagavan did not give any boon, simply he laughed and went out, it seems. By one smile, he can create confusion in Arjuna's mind, and by another smile, he can create Vairagyam in Kunti's smile. Therefore, Shukacharya says, Mohayan iva Mayaya Mandam Jagasa Vaikuntaha. He was very happy, Lord was very happy to hear this prayer, because even though Kunti asked this, she doesn't need both of them. Why? Because she is already have that. She has that Vairagyam, that's why she could ask this beautiful prayer whenever suffering comes in our life. If we remember this prayer, that it is a Prema Lekana, love letter has come from the Lord. When you remember, this is the time for me to spend lot of energy and time towards the spiritual practices. If you remember this prayer, this idea will come. Your life will be in the direction of spiritual knowledge. So we will pray to the Lord to give us also this type of maturity, to accept the pain as the love letter or as the prema lekanam of the Lord, and to accept this dukkham, whatever may be the pain, as the inevitable thing in our growth in spiritual life. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yatkrupa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam.